Bricktopian.
I just love the design of this build. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. It's Bricktopian here and today we'll be taking a look at the LEGO Pokemon Eevee set. It has a total of 587 pieces and it costs $54.99 in the UK. It is an 18 plus set and it was released in 2026. I really want to say how cute this set is. I honestly just love it so much. It honestly looks better than I even thought it would. I know some people complain that the face is too smooth and not got so much of a snout as it should. And I do agree, especially when looking at it like this from this angle. But from the front like this, I don't really think it matters too much. And overall, I feel like they couldn't have made this too much better with the parts they have. They could have used a slope brick or something here, or maybe some tiles. But honestly, I feel like that might have looked worse than this does. And I feel like the rest of the face makes up for it, the general shaping and the fact that everything here is printed, including the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, which is good because I was really expecting one of them to be a sticker, and I'm so pleased that it's not. The pricing is super overpriced in my opinion. It's just ridiculous, and that is the biggest flaw in my opinion of this set. And although it is the cheapest of the Pokemon sets, well, not counting the gift with purchase one or the insiders one, but just out of the ones you can actually buy straight out, this one is the cheapest one because the Pikachu one was really expensive, and then the other one was just insane. But this still feels way overpriced. I mean, it doesn't feel as bad once you built it as it would seem based on the piece count and the box. And also, when I first built just the main body, I thought, no way, this is like a £20 set. But then once you add the head and the tail, it does massively increase the size and scale of this, and you don't feel so terrible about that price. But if I just compare this to other sets that are cheaper and have got way more pieces, you've got things like the bonsai tree set. I know that had a lot of small parts, but things like that, and I know that came out a few years ago now, but it just shows in only a short amount of years how much prices have increased. Although, to be fair, this is a licensed set. There is some articulation as the tail can move side to side like this. It can't move up and down though, which is really annoying, but it does still look really good. They could have used a ball joint, I think, instead of this other. Well, it's this other ball connector, the one that goes like this. I feel like if they used a regular ball joint element, it might have worked better. But I feel like it is pretty good though, and I do like the tail specifically is probably the nicest build in terms of the actual build experience for me. I mean, the head was quite clever, but I actually really liked doing the tail. I don't know, I just liked all the texturing and the slopes on it. I thought it was really fun. This bit is really well done as well, how they got the fur. They could have just used like a fabric element and said, oh no, that'll do. But no, they didn't. They built it up really well using quarter dome pieces in the tan. You can see a bit of a stud there, which I'm not too much of a fan of. I wish that was covered in, but then it wouldn't have been as round here, so I can kind of understand that. The ears can also articulate up and down like this, so you can have them in different poses. So you can have it like this if you wanted to, or you can have it further down. But if you push it too far, like I just did, then the ears may come off. I personally prefer them in the up position. It just looks best to me. But obviously other people might prefer it differently. And then obviously the legs are pretty well done too, although I feel like these pieces are a bit too harsh. Even though they're curved, I feel like they look a bit too stuck on as well on the feet. They don't really capture that feel to me too much. I feel like it's good that these are printed as well, even though there was subtle detail that they bothered to print these. It's quite nice. Obviously, I don't like that you can see the grey connector in there, but I don't really think there's a way around that because they don't really do them pieces in the nougat colour. I also like how smooth the back of the head is. I think that was really nice as well. Sometimes the back of these builds don't look that good, but this one looks good from every angle. Obviously, you've got these exposed studs here, but even that doesn't honestly bother me very much. I feel like it feels pretty organic overall, and using these really thin wedge elements here just works so nice in that brown color. Obviously you can move the feet as well, so you can move the actual feet themselves like this, and you can move the legs. They don't have a huge amount of range of motion going back because of the tail size, but they do have enough that it's quite impressive to me. It's not like mind blowing, but it's pretty cool. So you can have his foot sticking out like that, like he's kicking some dirt behind him or something. Him, I say him, I consider Eevee to be a her because the name Eevee sounds like a girl's name, but Pokemon can come in male or female, so it's not like that you have to have a Pokemon specific to one or the other. There's even prints on the bottom of the feet here. They're just like little representations of the toes. They're not anything major, and they could have made the toes more brick built, but I feel like just having them printed like that honestly is enough detail for me. I don't think they needed to go over the top with it. Another little detail I liked is that inside the build you actually reference the evolutions or evolutions of this Pokemon by doing slightly different colors to the look on the outside. So you actually get like some unusual obscure colors like blue or orange or whatever to represent those. You can't see them once it's fully built, but it was a nice Easter egg that they just included that in the build, and you wouldn't expect it if you didn't already know about it. I was going to say if someone told you about it, and I probably shouldn't because, surprise, but, it's not a huge thing. It's just something small, I guess. It's not like a big, oh no, but I just thought it was quite good that they did that. And the scale, like I say, it feels too small for me for the price, but I feel like how well executed it is does sort of make up for it a bit. I'm not going to let them get away with the licensing excuse though, because I feel like there's only so far you can forgive that and go, oh, it's just licensing, but there is still quite a variation in set prices for licensing. I know Pokemon is literally the biggest franchise on the planet, like literally. It's not even like I'm saying that as an exaggeration. It's like known as like the most popular one because it's like the biggest money maker, even above things like Star Wars, which is crazy to me, but it's actually true. So I never realized how big Pokemon was. I know it was huge, but on the level it is actually shocks me. I didn't actually know that. I was like, are you kidding me? Wow, that's actually impressive. So you can see it here next to the Tuxedo Cat, which is completely out of the frame because it's just so much bigger. Obviously, it's a more expensive build, but anyway, let me just show you, raise this up a bit so you get a better idea of what they look like together. Because I thought, my two buildable friends, let's see what they look like together, because they both look really cool. And obviously they can convey a completely different type of animal build, because obviously one is supposed to represent a real life animal and one's supposed to represent a fictional animal. But I think they both look great for different reasons. Obviously this one was £90 and this is 54. So it's not a lot. It's like it's like this is less than double the price though. It's less than double. But if you look at the sizes of the builds, you would actually think this would be more than double the price of that because of the overall presence of how big this is. But no, there's not even half. It's not even just half the price. This is more than half the price of this. Again, the licensing is there, but to me, it just feels a bit extreme. And although I think that the other Pokemon sets are more overpriced probably than this one, but it's hard to gauge it because of how massive they are. I am interested to see what other Pokemon they come out with. I personally really would have loved Pikachu to have been the best one because Pikachu still stands as my favourite Pokemon and this one probably second. But I feel like the face on that one just didn't look right to me. But yeah, there's not really a lot else I need to say on this, honestly. Some people might prefer the Mega Bloks versions of Pokemon, and that's fair enough. I can understand why, but I haven't built those, so I don't really know. But I'm a sort of a Lego OCD person or a Lego purist, whatever you want to call it. So I sort of prefer to stick with the same brand and mainly just have Lego stuff together, because to me it sort of feels more cohesive in my displays and collection. But you know, I don't condemn anyone who would go, oh no, I'm just going to stick with the Mega Blocks ones, which would be cheaper. But yeah, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Feel free to like, share and subscribe for more videos, and see you again in the next one. Goodbye.